Have you ever felt totally and completely stuck? Staring at a problem that feels like a solid brick wall? Yeah, we've all been there. So today we're going to break down the skill of reframing, a really powerful way to turn those very walls into stepping stones. It really all starts with this one question. When you face a setback, what do you see? Is it a dead end, a total roadblock, or is it maybe a detour, one that could lead you somewhere even better? Your answer says a lot about your perspective. And the cool thing is, that perspective is something you actually have the power to change. And look, feeling frustrated or disappointed or even just plain defeated, that's a totally normal human reaction. Nobody is immune to that initial gut punch when things go sideways. The real key isn't to try and avoid that feeling, but to decide what you're going to do next.
And that brings us to the heart of it all, the incredible power of perspective. Think of it like a mental lens that you view every single event in your life through. Learning how to adjust that lens, well, that's one of the most transformative skills you can ever develop.
So what is reframing really? The best way to think about it is like looking out a window. You might be totally fixated on a little crack in the glass, right? Reframing is the act of just taking one step to the side to see the entire beautiful landscape that's been outside all along. It's not about pretending the crack isn't there. It's about choosing a more empowering and, honestly, a more useful view. And here's the thing, our ability to reframe is almost entirely tied to our mindset. If you're coming from a fixed mindset, a failure feels final. It feels like proof that you're just not good enough. It's an endpoint. But with a growth mindset, that exact same failure becomes valuable data. It's crucial feedback telling you exactly what to work on. Reframing is basically fueled by a growth mindset. Okay, so how do we actually do this? Reframing isn't some vague, fuzzy concept. It's a practical skill. And just like any other skill, it comes with a set of tools you can learn to use. So let's open up the toolkit. Our first tool is so simple, but man, is it effective. It's called the time traveler's view. The whole idea is to put some distance between you and the problem. Not physical distance, but the distance of time. Just asking yourself these questions can immediately shrink the emotional size of whatever you're dealing with. That embarrassing mistake you made in a meeting, that traffic jam that made you late, seriously, in 5 years, you probably won't even remember it happened. It's such a powerful way to realize that most of our anxieties are just temporary visitors, not permanent residents. All right, our next tool is all about the words we choose to use. Because language doesn't just describe our reality, it actively creates it. Just feel the difference between those words for a second. A problem feels heavy, right? It feels like something that's happening to you. But a challenge? That's something you rise to. A failure feels like a final judgment. But a learning experience? That's a step forward. This tiny shift in your vocabulary can completely change your emotional state and actually empower you to take action. And our final tool is all about zooming out. When we're stuck in a frustrating moment, it is so easy to get tunnel vision, where all we can see is the bad stuff. This tool helps us find that hidden lesson or opportunity that we're probably missing. You have to actually, intentionally ask yourself these questions. Maybe that project that failed taught you a critical, unforgettable lesson about how your team works. Maybe an unexpected bill was the exact push you needed to finally get serious about your budget. This isn't about pretending the negative thing didn't happen. It's about mining that negative thing for every ounce of value you can find. Okay, theory is great and all, but let's see how this actually works in situations we all face every day. How do we take these tools and apply them when the pressure's really on? Take a look at this. Our initial reactions so often feel like an emotional dead end. I failed. It's over. But a reframed approach, it actively opens a new door. All of a sudden, criticism isn't just an attack, it's a sign that someone's invested in you. A job rejection isn't just an ending, it's a redirection. And a failure? A failure becomes the most detailed blueprint you could ever ask for to succeed next time. This isn't just wishful thinking. It's a strategic mental pivot. But we need to make a really crucial distinction here. Reframing is a super powerful skill, but it's easy to misuse it. We have to understand the difference between healthy reframing and that all too common trap of toxic positivity. See, healthy reframing says, wow, this is really hard and I know I can learn something from it. Toxic positivity just says, just smile, it's not that bad, good vibes only. One validates your actual experience and empowers you to move through it. The other one just dismisses it and encourages you to suppress how you really feel. The key is to always acknowledge the reality of the situation first. The difficulty is real, and the opportunity for growth, that is also real. So why should you put in the work to build this mental muscle? Because the benefits of making reframing a habit, they go way beyond just feeling a little better in a tough moment. They can fundamentally change how you navigate your entire life. When you practice reframing, you're literally building resilience, so setbacks don't knock you out for as long. You become a better problem solver because your brain is trained to look for opportunities. You adapt to change more easily, and you start to find real, genuine meaning and fulfillment even inside of the struggles. This is about building a more robust, more capable version of yourself. And so we're going to end right where we began, with a question. I want you to think about one thing right now that feels like a roadblock in your life. It can be big, it can be small, doesn't matter. Now, using the tools we just talked about, how could you look at it differently? What's the stepping stone hidden inside that obstacle? Because the power to make that shift, well, that's entirely yours.